Students, in the last video, we have learned how electric charge and electrical energy get transferred through a conductor. And in this video session, we will be learning about electrical current basic definition, and we will derive equation for drift velocity of the electrons. So, as we know that whenever you are taking a wire and connecting it to external battery, electric field is set up in the battery. Because of that, electrons will be drifted in particular direction, which results ordered motion of the electron. And this ordered motion of electron with respect to time is nothing but called as electric current, I. So electric current is the flow of electric charge. It is defined as the rate at which charge flows. So rate at which charge flow is denoted with Q divided by T. The charge flow with respect to time is called as electric current. And unit of electric current is coulomb per second. So this has unit coulomb. Charge has unit coulomb. Time has unit second. Coulomb per second. It is also called as ampere. So 1 coulomb per 1 second is called as ampere. And its symbol is written as A. Ampere symbol is written as A. And 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per second. And 1 ampere is nearly equal to 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons per second. So 6.25 into 10 power 18 number of electrons, if they travel for 1 second, it produces 1 ampere of current. So you can write current I average current is equal to delta Q divided by delta T. Average current through the wire, it is I average, it is delta Q by delta T. And I instantaneous current is denoted with dQ divided by dt. This is one more definition, and it is for instantaneous current. And we have one more equation. As we know, I is equal to total charge transferred divided by time taken. And total charge transferred, Q, can be written as number of electrons transferred into charge of each electron divided by time taken. This is one more definition for electric current. I is equal to NE divided by T. So these are the three important equations which gives you the definition of electric current. I is equal to delta Q by delta T, which gives you average current. Instantaneous current is dQ by dt, current at particular instant of time. And current in terms of flow of electrons can be written as NE divided by T, where N is number of electrons. N is equal to number of electrons transferred. And T is equal to time taken. If you substitute that, you will be getting net current in the circuit. This is the definition of electrical current. Students, we already have learned when you are taking an electrical conductor and connecting it to external battery. Here is battery. You are connecting electrical conductor. This electrical conductor, it is just a wire out of which I am taking length L. L is length of that particular wire. When you are connecting battery, this battery will set up electric field throughout this length. Throughout its length, it will be setting up some electric field, and that is capital E, and it is always pointed in the direction from positive terminal to negative terminal of the battery. So electric field is pointed here, and it is along the length, throughout the length L, and this is area of cross section. So as electrical charge flow through this area of cross section, you need to calculate this total area of cross section through which current flow. So I is current passing through the circuit. As I already told you, when you are taking an electrical charge and placing it in external electric field, say for example, you are taking electric field in this direction, and if you are placing an electron in this electric field, if you are taking an electron here, electric field direction is right side, because F is equal to minus E into capital E. Force experienced by the electron is opposite to that of electric field. So remember that when you are placing an electron in external electric field, it will be drifted in opposite direction to that of electric field. Whereas if it is positive charge, F will be equal to E into capital E. Electric charge is negative and this is positive charge. Definitely positive charge will not be moving on the electrical conductor, but if we assume if it is positive charge, force and field both are in the same direction. Positive charges will be drifted in the direction of electric field. Negative charges get drifted in direction opposite to that of electric field. So as a result, when you are connecting a battery, here we have electrons. All these electrons are forced to move in such a way it is opposite to electric field. So electric field is set up in which direction? Electric field is set up in this direction. It is from positive terminal to negative terminal. This is electric field. And as we know that electrons are negatively charged particles, electrons are moving in which direction? Electrons are moving right side. Remember, we have electron current here and the other one is conventional current. Electron current, name itself tells you, electron current is produced due to motion of the electrons, whereas conventional current is by default, it is treated as motion of positive charges in external electric field, that is conventional current. Conventional current is motion of positive charges. So in which direction positive charge flow, that is taken as conventional current direction. Usually we get habituated, as current is a scalar quantity, we get habituated to take current I is equal to NE divided by T, and this E is positive charge. Positive charge by default. And this, as we are considering this E as positive charge by default, you should call this current as conventional current. You should call it as conventional current. Likewise, suppose if you are taking I is equal to minus NE divided by T, this E is negative charge, because we are placing one negative sign over here, and this current produced is because of negative charge, therefore it is called as electron current. Now you have got difference between electron current and conventional current. Remember that electron current is produced due to motion of electrons, which are negatively charged particles. Conventional current is opposite direction to that of the electron current. Generally, whenever we consider current in the electric current chapter, it is conventional current. We will not be always taking negative charge minus E everywhere in the equations. So by default, you need to take it as conventional current, which is opposite to that of the electron current. So as clearly you can understand, electrons are moving from negative terminal to positive terminal. Therefore, current is in the direction which is from positive terminal to negative terminal. Okay. This is conventional current. Right. And remember, conventional current is always pointed from positive terminal to negative terminal. Electron current is always directed from negative terminal to positive terminal of the battery. This is what two types of current we can study here. One is conventional current and the other one is electron current. Electron current is always from negative terminal to positive terminal. Conventional current is from positive terminal to negative terminal. By default in current electricity, we will be taking always direction of conventional current. Now what happened when you are connecting a conductor to a battery? What would happen? As I told you, these electrons are drifted in opposite direction to that of electric field. So as arrow marks is being indicated over there, electrons are moving from negative terminal to positive terminal. And when they are in motion, when these electrons are in motion, they collide with ions. They collide with ions and they lose energy and may even come to halt. Halt in the sense they may even come to rest position. At every collision, it may come to rest position. So they are again accelerated by electric field and make collisions with other lattice ions. In this way, they continue to move along the conductor. So usually whenever electrons are moving, definitely as we have seen in the previous video, we have animation also. Electrons are moving in random directions. If it is under external electric field, they will be moving in ordered motion. So when they are moving in ordered motion, definitely they get collided with ions. As a result, they lost their energy. But because of electric field, again they get accelerated in opposite direction to that of electric field. Like that, continuously they may be drifted from negative terminal of the battery to positive terminal of the battery. Clear? This is what we have learned in this slide. Let us consider a conductor. This is a conductor and there are ions. These are ions. They are positively charged. In case of metals, generally, there will be free electrons. Each atom in the metal will be losing 1 electron or 2 electron depending on its valency. As a result, it will be getting positive charge. And there were electrons. Here there is an electron, here there is an electron, here there is an electron, here there is an electron. These all are free electrons which are generally moving in random direction. What you are doing now, you are connecting this wire to a battery and it is been in such a way, it is connected from negative terminal, one end it is connected to negative terminal and the other one is connected to positive terminal. Electric field will be always in the direction from positive terminal to negative terminal. This is the direction of electric field, as you know. Remember, electric field is because of the influence of battery. Electric field is set up throughout its length L. Now, because of this electric field, what would happen to this electron? Electron is forced to move in specific direction. Okay. Now, when this electron is in motion, it come and hit this ion. Similarly, this electron come and hit with the ion. Another electron come and hit with the ion. One more electron, it comes and hit with the ions. Ion size is very large than that of electron size. As a result, electron when immediately hit the ion, it loses its energy. So electron loss energy. Electrons will be losing its energy and that lost energy appears, that lost energy is being released out. Lost energy is being released out in the conductor in the form of heat. So therefore, whenever electric current is passing through a conductor, it gets heated up because electrons lost some energy during collisions of the electrons with ions. Now, as electron is losing its energy, but it is under the influence of external electric field. Because of that, even though the electron which is here, say for example, I am talking about this electron, it hit the ion. Its energy has been all lost to the ion. As a result, whenever it is releasing its energy, there will be some heat developed over there. Now, as it loses its energy, it comes to rest. But what would happen? Electric field is not absent. Electric field is present over here. This electron is again forced to move in the same direction as that of the initial direction. Therefore, electrons come, hit with the ions, collide, lost some energy in the form of heat, and again they get forced by the electric field to move in the same direction. Like that, electrons continuously tend to move in the direction opposite to that of electric field throughout the metallic conductor by losing energy and as well as collisions. Like that, let me take one example here. You have an electron. It is moving in different direction. Like as I told you, here it is positive and it is negative. Electric field is directed right side. Therefore, electrons are forced to move in opposite direction to that of the electric field. So when electrons are in motion, remember that the velocity of electrons is not constant. It is not constant. It is variable, because due to collisions, it loses its speed, it loses its kinetic energy. But because of electric field, it is forced to move. Therefore, velocity of the electrons are not constant. As velocity of the electrons are not constant, electrons move with non-uniform motion. And overall, electron is starting at one end of the wire and it is traveling to other end of the wire. Right? What is total displacement of electron? Total displacement of the electron is equal to length of the conductor. It takes some time to travel from here to here, that is time taken t, which is equal to v. But when you are dealing with electron motion with ions, it is not exactly in the straight line path. So it will be in different paths. Like it may, see, this is not a straight line. You could see that. You will get a curve. Even though it is curve, initial position and final position, if you consider, you will be getting one straight line, or even it may be some another, like it may be from here to here. But overall, how much length it is traveling? It is traveling throughout this particular conductor. Therefore, instead of taking particular instantaneous velocity for each electron, we calculate drift speed of the electron. Okay. So why we are calculating drift speed? Because electron speed within a conductor is not constant. Therefore, we need to take average speed of the electrons throughout its collisions in the wire. So such type of speed is nothing but called as drift speed. Drift speed is because of the influence of electric field. If there is no electric field, electron does not move in the ordered path. It will be random motion. As a result, there will be no drift. There will be no drift. Drift in the sense carried. పట్టి లాగడం అన్నట్టు. సో ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది? ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ని ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ లాక్కుంటూ పోతుంది. ఎక్కడికి? నెగటివ్ టెర్మినల్ నుంచి పాజిటివ్ టెర్మినల్ కి. దానివల్ల ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఒక ఎండ్ నుంచి ఇంకొక ఎండ్ కి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే. సో ఇట్లా దిస్ ఈజ్ క్యారీడ్. Electric field is carrying or forcing the electric charge to move in specific direction, resulting in some average speed, and that is called as drift speed of the electrons. But however, calculation of drift speed is beyond your 10th standard. In intermediate, you will be still learning in depth about drift speed, but for time being, you just remember that as electrons are not having a constant speed, you will be taking an average speed, which is called as drift speed. Now we need to derive an equation for drift speed, right? As we know, there is some force experienced by the electron in the electric field. I will write it as F is equal to E into capital E. But what is F? F is equal to ma, which is equal to E into capital E. And what about this A? A is equal to acceleration. It is E capital E divided by m, where A is called acceleration of electron in field. So you have calculated acceleration, but how do you write acceleration? Acceleration is equal to drift speed divided by relaxation time. And this tau is relaxation time. Vd is called as is known as drift speed, and tau is called as relaxation time. It is called as relaxation time. What is relaxation time? the time between two successive collisions of the electron is nothing but called as it is called relaxation time. Okay, now I'll substitute that Vd and T in this basic equation. You can write it as Vd divided by tau is equal to E capital E divided by m, and drift speed is equal to E capital E tau divided by m. This is equation for drift speed of the electron in terms of relaxation time, mass of the electron, electric field, and charge of the electron. E is charge of the electron, capital E is electric field, tau is relaxation time, m is mass of the electron. This is equation for drift speed. Now let us derive another equation for drift speed in terms of electric current. We can write electric current is equal to Q divided by T, where Q is net charge transferred over there. Net charge transferred per unit cross sectional area. Okay, so Q net can be written as N. N is total number of electrons. E, it is charge of the electrons, and throughout its cross sectional area, this is cross sectional area of the wire. Throughout its cross-sectional area, electron charge will be in motion throughout its cross-sectional area. It is not just one single electron transferring in the conductor. Throughout the area of cross-section of the conductor, such electrons will be in motion, right? So therefore, I will multiply each, like these all electrons with respect to area of cross-section. I'll just multiply A, where A is area of cross-section of the conductor. And L is length. Throughout this length, conductor length is L. Throughout its length, electric charge will be flowing. So it is L divided by T. Now this gives you N. N is total number of electrons. E is charge of the electrons. A is area of cross section. What is L by T? L by T is equal to V, right? And this V is Vd, which is drift speed of the electron, where Vd is called drift speed. So from this you can write equation for drift speed. It is Vd is equal to current I divided by NEA. I is equal to current, N is equal to number density of electrons, A is equal to area of cross section, of the wire, and E is equal to charge of the electron. It is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. This is charge of each electron, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. This is equation for drift speed in terms of current. So now we have got two equations for drift speed. The first one is Vd is equal to E capital E tau divided by m. And the other one is Vd is equal to I divided by NEA. This is one more equation for drift speed. Students, we have got equation for drift speed, that is Vd equal to I divided by NEA. Now in this question you are supposed to calculate drift speed of an electron in a copper wire. So you are taking a copper wire and connecting it to a battery. As a result, electric charge is flowing through. And because of motion of this charge, 1 ampere of current is passing. 1 ampere of current is produced due to motion of the charge throughout its area of cross section, 10 power minus 6 meter square. And electron density of the copper, that means total number of electrons in the copper wire, it is found to be as 8.5 into 10 power 28 per meter cube. So 1 meter cube, in 1 meter cube, these many number of electrons will be there in case of a copper wire. So all the values are being given. I is equal to 1 ampere. Area of cross section is equal to 10 power minus 6 meter square. And number density N is equal to 8.5 into 10 power 28 per meter cube. And charge of the electron is known to you. It is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Take these all values and substitute in this basic formula Vd. Substituting IANE in this equation of drift velocity and evaluating that, you have got finally 0.076 into 10 power minus 3. So this is simply written as 0.076 millimeter per second. Right? Now you have one question. If suppose the electron speed is, see, drift speed of the electron is very small. Drift speed of the electron, it is just 0.76 millimeter. So that means for 1 second, it can travel only, for 1 second, it can travel only 0.076 millimeter. Suppose if it is a 60 second, it will be multiplied with 660. 1 second this much, 0.076 millimeter into 60. This is equal to 0.76 into 6. Nearly 6 6 36, 3, 6 7s 42, 42 plus 3, 45. So it is 45, 4.56 millimeter. That means in 1 minute, it travel only 4.56 millimeter. Suppose if it is 1 hour, then it is 4.56 into 60. This is equal to 45.6 into 6. This is equal to 36. 6 5s 30, 30 plus 3 33, and 6 4s 24, 24 plus 3 27. And what is left over here? 0.6. This is 273.6 millimeter. In 1 hour, how much length it is able to travel? In 1 hour, it is just traveling 27.36 centimeter. It is very, 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 very small length. It's not even 1 kilometer. In 1 hour, the drift speed, like in 1 hour, if you are seeing drift speed of the electron as 0.76 millimeter, for whole 1 hour, if it travel, it is just traveling a length of 27.36 centimeter. But when you switch on immediately, like bulb, maybe it may be at a distance of 1 meter from your home, or even it can be 100 meter from your home. A bulb can be 100 meter from your home, right? If this bulb is at 100 meter and if you switch on that bulb, which is connected in the circuit, within 1 second, that bulb glow, right? If an electron is taking very large time to travel 1 meter length, then how does this bulb glow within just 1 second? How much long it can be? Even the bulb can be at a distance of 1 kilometer. Even like you can see the street lights, right? So street lights, they will have common switch at one point, and when the electrician switch on that common point, all the street lights will be glowing at the same time. If the drift speed of the electrons are very, very, very less, then how come it's possible? That is my question. You need to think about that question, try to answer it by yourself, read some textbook or anything else, and try to answer that in the next video. And this will be the end of today's session. So this is end of today's video, and of course I will be explaining that in tomorrow's video class, tomorrow's video session.